Redemption Stories has its new poster boy, and it's Dispatch. In Dispatch, powers often complement the personality of whoever has them, but unlike Flambe or Prism, Invisigal's powers have an interesting narrative purpose. It's not just about being hot-headed or a superstar. It is about the ability to completely isolate yourself without people even having to see you. Her ability to hide whenever she wants to adds to her lone wolf personality. But there are also drawbacks to Vizzy's powers because of who she is. She's only able to go invisible while holding her breath, and she is an asthmatic that smokes, which is only one of her self-destructive tendencies that you see throughout the game. We see Courtney actively trying to lower expectations of herself, like trying to be the one who gets cut during episode 3, being extremely aggressive towards every member of the Z team, and even in the gameplay of the dispatch sections, Vizzy moves faster when she is alone, as if she's running away from group missions, which is all because of a fear of losing people close to her, which becomes a perpetuating cycle where she reduces her expectations towards others, leading to less connections, more isolation, and because of her constant aggressiveness, she is actively pushing people away before they can get close to her. And the only person that doesn't work with is Robert, because they are doing the exact same thing as each other.
You got me Sour Patch Kids on our first date. I figure whiskey makes sense for the second. Third date, you can buy me dinner. Nothing too filling though, just in case.
Yeah, that was fun. I hadn't been to the movies in a while. I had a good time.
You had a good time eating popcorn too loud while I sat silently next to you?
The silence was the best part.
You might like me loud sometime.
Robert and Courtney are actually a very good mirror to one another, where they have very similar personalities, and in my opinion they have the best banter throughout the entire story. But the differences come from their upbringing, where Robert was brought up as Mecha Man's son, and Vizzy was brought up alone, having to fend for herself as she grew up. The main difference between Robert and Vizzy is that they had very different support systems growing up, and when all the responsibility was put in their hands, one took advantage of it, and one took responsibility for it. The first scene that we see Invisigal in is in the conference room, where she is hiding while Robert is introduced to SDN. She gets caught almost immediately and tries to book it out of the room, only for it to be locked, and we immediately see a perfect example of who Courtney is at this point in time.
Who locks a conference room? So, you two fuck or what?
She's someone reluctant to be here, but is doing it purely for her own benefit right now. We see immediately in episode 2 that Vizzy hates rules, hates following orders from other people, and believes that she knows what's best in a given situation, only for that situation to blow up in her face, and she shifts blame onto Robert. There is actual criticism that Robert is trying to give Courtney in the lunchroom after the Granny incident, but because Vizzy knows how to pull Robert's strings already, she turns it into a full-blown argument.
The suit isn't what made me a superhero. It was how I did my fucking job that made me Mecha Man. Based on what I saw today, you wouldn't last a day as Mecha Man. Because there isn't a mech suit in the universe that'll keep you from being a selfish fucking asshole.
Because Courtney is able to handle being in an argument way better than she is able to admit that she was in the wrong. It isn't until the midway point of episode 3 that we see Vizzy start to pull back her walls just a bit. We see her trying to isolate herself again, trying to quit the Z team under the disguise of being the one who gets suspended to help others out. And she is only convinced otherwise because Robert is genuinely trying to help her in this moment.
Oh, you're looking for answers in the stars. Well, listen, they're just rocks or gas or alien cum. Okay, I don't know.
If you don't know, why are you still talking?
If you're getting any messages, it's useless, because it was for some fucker that died a long time ago.
You've already been a hero, okay? You have no idea what I'm dealing with.
Oh, get out of here. At least you were born with powers. I don't have shit. So according to your dumbass theory, I should be an accountant.
You aren't far off.
Robert is clearly not trying to manipulate Vizzy. He's just trying to help her. And this brief conversation between Vizzy and Robert is what leads her to see face to face with him for the first time since they had met. She's no longer trying to prove that she knows what's best. Vizzy is starting to accept help when she needs it. We get to see that she is genuinely happy when her name is not last on the leaderboard, and she gives Robert a sincere thank you for doing that. And from episode 4 to episode 6, we only see Courtney get closer with the Z team and especially Robert. Even if you're romancing Blonde Blazer, if you actually mentor Vizzy and do well in the dispatch sections, she becomes Robert's #1 protege and an actual hero. And it only happens because she's getting closer with people. She's opening up. Still not fully opening up because there are still secrets that she keeps close to her chest. Courtney is genuinely surprised when Robert shows up at the theater, partly because she had been rambling for however long, thinking that he was listening to her over the intercom system. And part of her surprise is because he actually took the time to be with her. She's gotten to the point where she doesn't expect anyone to want to be around her, especially when it's not mandated.
You first.
This is nice. What were you gonna say?
Do you like Sour Patch Kids?
I fucking love Sour Patch Kids.
Cool. Me too.
And along with the mix of music, this might be my favorite scene in the whole game. I'm just gonna be blatantly honest, I love the movie theater scene. By the time we get to episode 6, Courtney and Robert have gotten so close to the point where she actively wants to help him in the same way that he has helped her. And when she recognizes the explosion from the Protopulse, she decides to bring the Z team together in hopes to find the real Astral Pulse.
Why'd you do all this?
I don't know. You helped me, and now I'm helping you. Just shut the fuck up about it until we find the thing.
Throwing Robert a house party and actually bringing life into his shitty apartment. Yet we see that Courtney is still self-conscious about taking credit for doing something good right now, because lingering in the back of her mind is the past. Going into their shared backstory at the warehouse, where Vizzy's the one who plants the bomb on Robert, and you see the look in her eyes when she comes face to face with Mecha Man. Even though Robert's not actually seeing Vizzy right now, Courtney is shown to have reservations about killing him because before he was just a suit of armor, and Visigal had never killed anyone before, and seeing how pissed the person she is attempting to murder is right now, it clearly affects her. Once we get into episode 8, I do fully believe that Shroud is lying about Vizzy still working for him, because none of the actions that she has done throughout the entirety of the game support that idea. Just going off of a step-by-step basis, there would be no reason for Vizzy to try and quit the Z team in episode 3 if she was supposed to be working under Shroud. All of Vizzy's actions in episode 4 completely contradict that idea. In episode 5, the veteran clearly wants to hurt Vizzy, and getting into episode 6, there would be no reason for Vizzy to go to the ship in attempts to get the Astral Pulse. If Shroud wanted the Pulse, because the easier plan would have been for Vizzy not to show up, for him to just go to the boat that night, get the Pulse, build the mech, and just drop in like he did in episode 8. But instead, what did Vizzy do? She snuck onto the boat, she got into the captain's quarters, and she stole the Astral Pulse for herself. There's also no reason that Vizzy would want to explain her backstory with Robert in episode 7 if she was working for Shroud still, because that would only put more doubt in his head if there was clearly missing pieces in her story. There was also no hints given to the player that she might not be a good person. While Shroud is also just a known manipulator, he has lied about how he had killed Robert II, shown by how the comic and his story are very different.
This was your father's gun. First bullet grazed his shoulder. I hadn't adjusted to the adrenaline spike. The second hit his upper chest. The third burst his heart. He was lying on the floor, eyes full of fear, when I put the fourth through his face. Bit of a waste to put the fifth through that idiot's skull, but I wanted to make sure it worked after all these years.
How he had managed to get his hands on the exact same gun that would have been taken in for evidence at the scene of the crime, and it's just like, the more thought you put into trying to make Vizzy an antagonist, other than if you fuck up and she gets the villain route, there is no evidence for her to be a villain, and she proves it by saving Robert. Dispatch is a story about redemption, and there is no character that embodies that message better than Invisigal. A character who went from completely isolating herself from any connections to slowly learning to accept that there are people similar to her that are accepting of her, and that there are actually people out there that want to help her build into the person that she wants to be going forward. If there is anything that you take away from this video, it is that everyone can be redeemed, but you have to put effort into that redemption for it to make any difference.